Good evening, brothers and sisters. In this video, I'm going to be answering a question that a sister DM'd me this evening. She asked, how real are your hallucinations? How can you tell the difference between something that's real and something that's fiction? That's something you're seeing, you're hearing, the hallucinations are touching you, but how can you train your mind to know the difference between this is someone real who I'm actually talking to versus this is just something my mind has conjured, that it's a hallucination? How do you tell the difference? And so I'm going to try to answer that to the best that I can. For me, in my experience having schizophrenia, my hallucinations, they feel just as real as anything else. You know, when I go get coffee at Starbucks, I'm talking to the barista and, we're having a conversation back and forth. I see them, I give them my money, and it's a real interaction. Like, there's evidence, there's proof that this person in front of me is a real person. I'm not imagining it. I can see them, I can hear them. Maybe I can smell their perfume or their cologne. There's indicators that this is real. I'm not dreaming, I'm not hallucinating. But when it comes to my hallucinations, it's very difficult for me to tell the difference, meaning my hallucinations feel just as real as me actually going about my day. That I've had situations where the hallucination feels almost more real than me actually talking to someone who's actually real. That telling the difference between a hallucination and what's reality, it's almost impossible. And that's just because my hallucinations, they happen every day, 24/7. I hear voices, and oftentimes I do see things, and it's just my brain has manifested hallucinations that sound real, look real, smell real, that they even touch me. They put their hands on me, and they grope me, and they feel on me, and it's no different than me going grocery shopping. It's no different than me eating at a restaurant. It's no different than me, talking to the staff in the morning who give me my medication. That staff member who I, say good morning to at 8 a.m., they give me my meds. That interaction is just as real as an interaction that I have with Legion at night, who tries to keep me up, yells at me, tries to keep me awake, and does everything he can so that I don't go to sleep. It's just as real. And so my short answer is I can't tell the difference. It's impossible. That my hallucinations, they play such tricky games with me that I can't tell if I'm having an episode sometimes. That there's moments that I have a psychotic episode, that I struggle with psychosis, that I don't realize it's psychosis until after my episode, when my mind calms down, where I'm stable, and I'm like, oh shit, that was an episode. And sometimes it takes me days. It takes me days to figure out, this is not normal. Sometimes it takes me days to figure out, oof, I am not myself. And so I just know that my hallucinations, they tend to, my hallucinations tend to deal with all my senses, the 5 senses of touch, taste, feel, and so on, hear, sight. That my 5 senses, my hallucinations activate. And when that happens, I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, like, I can't get away. I can't ignore the hallucinations. And that's the thing that pisses me off too, is when people say, oh, just ignore the hallucinations, ignore the voices. And it's like, are you fucking stupid? Like, no, you can't just ignore the hallucinations. That, imagine someone's just sitting next to you and they keep poking you just for like 10, 15 minutes straight. They're just sitting there poking you, poking you, poking you, poking you, poking you. You can't ignore them, because after a couple minutes, you're gonna be like, geez, fucking stop. And so it's impossible to ignore my hallucinations, because they pester me and they don't stop. You know, it's, if someone put their hands on your shoulders and squeezed, it's very difficult for you to act like nothing happened. It would be very difficult for you to be like, yeah, I'm gonna pretend nothing's happening, even though I feel the pressure on my shoulders, I feel their hands squeezing. It feels so real. And so it's just, I hate it. Hallucinations are one symptom that I absolutely fucking hate, because there's no way for me to trick my brain. There's no way for me to figure out, here's a shortcut for me to figure out, am I actually seeing this mad doctor operating on a body and blood everywhere? Am I actually seeing Chucky? Am I actually seeing Pennywise? Am I actually seeing Pinhead? Am I actually seeing Ghostface? Like, am I actually seeing these creepy people? Am I actually seeing a murderous clown with a knife chasing me? Like, sometimes not sometimes, most of the time I'm like, I can't tell the fucking difference. It's my life. So, I know this video didn't make any sense. I absolutely do know that this video made no sense, and that I'm just talking for the sake of fucking talking. But that's just where my brain is right now, that my thoughts are racing. I'm having racing thoughts right now, and my brain is everywhere all at once. So sorry, guys. I'm gonna end this video here, and I just want to say sorry for the fucked up brain, the mind, it's racing, and there's just so much going on at one time. So sorry for this, but this is my life, and schizophrenia for me, it's an everyday battle. It's every day there's something that I'm fighting against, struggling with. Every day there's something that I'm in a cage match with, and you know, I'm fighting for my life. So have a wonderful evening, guys. I just want you to know that I love you so much, and thank you for spending some time with me. Peace.